Right, 5, 6, 7, I'm not sure how many years ago it was, Fat. We had an issue with Sandpaper in South Africa and Australian cricket went to shit.
It did.
And then we turned to two blokes to fix it.
Who?
One of them was Justin Langer, the coach,
Yep.
and the other one was Tim Paine, the captain. And the job they did over the next 4 or 5 years to restore our country's pride in our national team and turn cricket around in Australia was absolutely superb. And he joins us now, Tim Paine, in the studio with you in Hobart. Painey, welcome to you.
Afternoon, JB, Bill. Thanks for having me.
No, great to have you. That's a great intro by Jim. That was hard times, wasn't it? That were bloody tough times back then, mate.
No, they weren't great, that's
No.
for sure. I was talking to someone about it this morning, actually. So that was a period of my life when we got to South Africa, which was, the highest quality cricket. We had a great team. We were having a really good time. And then it's fair to say the shit hit the fan pretty quickly.
But Painey, I'm not underselling the job the two of you did because the fallout from that was ridiculous. We all know that. But then it was shoulder to the wheel and absolutely work your butts off to get, as I say, the pride back reinstored in our national team, but also, the on-field turned around. We were the number one, I think, in all three formats, pretty quickly. So it was a great job you did, and we should never forget that. Hey, congratulations. You've just retired from all forms of cricket. I think I'm right in saying.
Well, yeah, nearly all forms, yeah. Still playing a bit of club cricket, so I've got the grand final tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to, and then who knows what the future holds.
So you play for uni, is that right, here?
Yep, University of Tasmania. So I've been there since I was 11 or 12. So
The only time you've been to uni.
yeah, well, I'm not alone in my grade team too, don't worry.
And tell us about, so it's a Friday, it's a 3-day little game here, Jimmy boy. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tonight you've got to go down and they have dinner, do they?
Yeah, we got the pasta night tonight.
Yeah.
So that was something we did years ago. We used to have a coach, Enrico Di Venuto, who was Michael's dad, and he was obviously Italian. We used to have a big pasta night. In recent years, I've got a bit lazy and just gone for the barbecue.
Yep.
So tonight for the grand final, the pasta night's back in fashion, which is great.
So where do you bat for the university team?
Well, traditionally I've batted up the order, Bill, but we've got a talented young side, and we're trying to give them as much exposure. And
so where do you bat, Tim?
I'll be sliding in at 7 tomorrow.
What?
Well, it's the traditional wicketkeeper spot, isn't it? Number 7.
You've got to be joking. You're in the bloody Qantas club. What's the story?
A1. Well, I said, mate, we've got 3 or 4 really good players. We've got Jake Doran, who plays for Tassie. We've got Tim Ward plays for Tassie. A few others that are on contract and a few rookies. So give them a go, and I'll just get on the end of it late in the day or even on Saturday with a bit of luck.
So you played with Tassie this year in the Sheffield Shield. Poor year, actually, by Tassie.
Yeah, it was. It was a poor finish.
Yeah,
we
poor
started
finish.
really well. We were in the mix right up until Christmas and the Big Bash, and then unfortunately after the Big Bash, we didn't quite get it back together, which was disappointing. So sad way to finish, but sometimes that's the way it goes.
But your keeping was good. They tell me you took a magnificent catch, I think the second last game. So you're still gloving them all right.
Yeah, I was still moving really well, actually, which was surprising for someone who wasn't training a hell of a lot. So, I've always been a huge trainer. I've loved training.
Yep.
And I was saying to a few people last week that I couldn't think of anything worse about a month ago than going to training, and that's when I knew it was probably time to give it up or have a rest. So. Still moving well, still enjoyed it, but training was becoming a real battle.
When they tell me, Jim, Peter Siddle might be coming back to Victoria. That's the rumours.
I think he's a done deal. That's what I've heard.
Right.
I haven't seen the big fella. I think he's back in Melbourne at the moment. But, he's been awesome for Tasmanian cricket to have down. But I think he was going through a really difficult time in his personal life when he came down. So for him to have the opportunity to go home and get back around his friends and families, too good an opportunity. I think they might have even signed him for 2 years. So he'll be there for a while and turning 40 and still playing first-class cricket, which would be a huge achievement.
That is ridiculous. Tell me about the head of cricket down there, the man who's taken over running the game in Tasmania. Just as things fell away at the back end of the year, how did Ponting cope with the success not coming his state's way?
Yeah, I haven't spoken to him about the Tigers. I don't think he was all that thrilled with the Hurricanes, though, the big fella. But I think there was a few things going on there that they'll need to tidy up. It'll be interesting to see what he does. I'm hearing a lot of rumours of who might be moving, and Big Rick might be swinging the axe, which will be interesting to see. But look, I'm sure he'll get it together. I know he's got a pretty clear plan of what he wants them to look like, and it'll be interesting and exciting for Hurricanes fans once he gets his teeth into them next year.
Now, the book has been released. I think it's in shelves as we speak.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's been on sale for a while now, actually. I haven't paid too much attention to it, though, to be honest. But
Are you selling? It must be selling then. It'd be-
I don't know. Bill, have you bought it? Obviously you
I
would
can't read, so but you didn't bring a copy in. I could have
I
done.
could have, actually.
The price
I thought
paid.
Blair would have bought you one for your birthday or something.
Blair's too tight to buy,
Yeah,
and you know that. The price paid, the story story of life, cricket, and lessons learnt.
Yeah, there was a few of those along the way, it's fair to say.
Exactly. Hey, good-looking man, Jim, as I sit here. Very attractive young man. Very happy with his body, with his rig. We all know that. Just struts out there. He's got the cap on. They're not overweight at all. But the only thing that I think worries him about his body, Jim,
Yes.
is he's just sitting right next to him, is the tuft of hair at the top of his ass crack. Is that right, Timmy?
I don't know where you've got that from, Bill.
Is that true?
Well, you can't have it all, can you?
Give me a look. Show me.
Bill, I'm not sure we need that. Let's take a little break. More to discuss with this star of Australian cricket, Tim Paine.
More with Tim Paine next
show me-
on
show
the
me-
Rush. No, Bill. Triple M's Rush Hour.
We have indeed. Did you get invited to Marcus Harris's wedding?
No, I didn't actually.
He had 11
Couldn't-
people
I must
there.
have been the 12th, I reckon.
You
Couldn't
were.
have been far. Actually, my wife probably was the 12th. I might have been after her.
Yeah, you would have been 13th.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Yadav, the Indian superstar
Yep.
cricketer, you said he's very, very good.
He is.
How can you make 3 golden ducks? How do you do that?
I didn't see last night's, but if you saw the first two,
Yeah.
those balls are getting a lot of players out. When Mitchell Stark's bowling 150 and he's actually getting the ball to swing
Yeah.
down the line to a right-hander,
Righto.
you can get one of them early. You
Yeah.
can miss them.
Agar got him last night.
Yeah, I
Clean
haven't
bowl.
seen that one. Probably the same thing, maybe a little slower in swinger.
Hey, Fat, you know when you talk to people who are good enough to have played for their country and you say to them, geez, I want to hear a bit about this. Where did you debut? Where was your first game?
Me?
Painey.
Oh.
First test?
He played 35 tests, 35
Yep.
one-dayers. So I'm going to start with the one-day because I think you first debuted for Australia
Yep.
as a one-day player.
I did. My
Who
very
was-
first game was...
Who was that against, please?
Against Scotland.
Scotland?
Yeah, at the Grange in Edinburgh.
No.
Yes.
Did you bat at 7?
I may have actually, Bill. Yeah, I may have.
All right,
So I think
I'll-
you used to go on the England one-day tours,
Yeah.
and England would play Ireland, and Australia would play Scotland for the warm-up game, and then the next tour it would swap. So I played one over there. My
Yeah.
first one was at the Grange. I think I got 20 or 30
Oh,
not out.
well done.
I
Not.
like it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
all right, so
ready.
there's the one-day start, and then you got the great honour of getting the baggy green and representing your country in a Test match. Who was that against and where?
Yeah, the Test match was against Pakistan.
Yep.
Funnily enough, at Lord's.
At Lord's.
It was. So that was when no one was playing Test cricket, obviously, in Pakistan at that stage. And the MCC sponsored the series. So it was the MCC Test series.
How'd you go?
Funnily enough, well, I got 40-odd, and I thought I'd done all right. But then it turned out to be the series where the Pakistanis were bowling all those no balls and getting paid for it.
Oh.
So I only got 40, and they weren't actually trying to get me out.
Who did you
How
take
many
over?
were there?
There was a few there. We played a few tests in England against Pakistan, one at Headingley as well. So there's obviously a huge population of Pakistanis over there.
Yes.
So they were really, really well supported. We weren't all that popular.
And sorry, Tim, it's something we got to do for the sponsors. He's just looking at me like now a Tassie team in the AFL. Are
Yep.
you pushing this? Are you behind this?
Yeah, I am. I'd love to see it, especially now I'm retired. And,
Yeah.
and you know, they have those Category B rookies.
Yes,
So
that's
I
you.
wonder if I'm too old. What's the cutoff
Where
there?
did you
So
play? Because your brother was a star at
No, he wasn't.
Clarence.
He was hopeless.
No, he was a
He
star.
was hopeless, Bill. Seriously, he was terrible.
China?
Yeah, he's about 2 foot tall and slow as a wet weed.
He was.
couldn't run, couldn't kick, and couldn't jump.
Yeah. So where did you play then?
Well, wherever it was required,
Yeah.
to be honest. But I liked playing half forward
Yeah.
and kicking a goal, but I was always in those rotations.
Right.
So when the other bloke came down for a rest, I'd just pretend I was doing my shoes up or pulling my socks up and turn my back.
Now
Spend
they-
the whole quarter forward.
Are they going to get it? What's happening? What's the
I'd
inside?
like to think so. Obviously, we need a stadium first.
Yes.
That would be ideal, but I'm hearing positive things from
Mm-hmm.
people who might know.
It's a bit less, I hear.
Yeah, it's down on the docks there. So
Yeah.
not
No,
bad
the money-
positioning for your pavilion,
Right.
actually, Bill.
Oh,
to be
speaking
honest.
of that, we'll talk about that very
get
shortly. But yes,
no,
'cause-
Bill, there's no doubt the team's coming in.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when and whether they wait for the stadium or maybe get the team in prior to the stadium playing in the existing ones in Launceston and Hobart. So I think it's going to happen. Painey, you are a rusted-on bomber.
I
So
am.
when the whatever you call them come into Tassie, what happens then?
The Devils.
I'll be unashamedly Tasmanian.
Will you?
Yep.
So you
100%.
change
I've always
from being a
wanted an
bomber?
AFL team, a Tasmanian team. Yeah, I would. I actually would. And I'm not
Bloody
ashamed
hell.
to say that.
Good boy.
I'm a Tasmanian born and bred, and if we were to get a team, or when we do get a team, I'll be signed up as one of the first members.
Good on
Bloody
you.
hell.
What are you going to do? Because you finished your cricket now and playing with the uni this weekend. That's all over.
Yep.
You get into the media or?
I don't think so. I think, as I said, I'll probably look at a footy comeback.
If that doesn't
I've
work.
promised that for a long time. Oh, it'll work. I'll be playing a bit of old scholars or something like that. So, and probably in a league where I don't have to fight, Bill, would be handy.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I'll try to keep myself in good shape because then everyone's always like, geez, you train too hard for cricket. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I need to be able to get through a half a footy when I'm 38, 39. So
Jeez.
we'll see where it takes me in the next
I
6
think
months.
you'll be behind the microphone next
Yeah, he
summer.
will.
Bill. I'd like to think that would
What
be
about-
pretty comfortable.
What are you doing tonight, Tim Paine?
Got to go to grade cricket training first, Bill, do the right thing.
And then where?
And then I'll be heading down to the pavilion.
Oh, there you go, Jim.
I tell you what, Jim, if anyone was thinking of going down there, you'd want to get there early with Bill and James Faulkner. Because if they get there before you, there'll be no food or drink left in the whole venue.
Nothing.
Finish
So give it a plug,
be
Fat,
empty.
for our millions of Hobart
Well,
listeners. What,
it's called the Pavilion. It's on Salamanca here, which is in Hobart, which is a lovely strip, isn't it?
It's a beautiful little strip.
It is, really
You've
is.
got some excellent real estate there too, Bill. I don't know what you're paying for it, but
Well, Jubby's looking after that. He owns Customs
Well,
House
he's the
and
man
the
about
brick.
town.
He is the man
Yeah.
about town. And James Faulkner's involved and Blair, my brother's involved. We've both got brothers that were no good, haven't we?
That's unfortunate, but you got to live with it.
Exactly right. So at the Pavilion opening night tonight, special guest. What?
you're it.
What, Jim? What?
You're the eye candy. People are going to come to see you. I suggest you get Painey there as quick as possible. Hey, Painey, well done, mate. Amazing career. You've got so much to be very proud of.
Yes.
Good luck in the grade final. Look forward to seeing you around the traps next summer.
Beautiful. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Bill.
Good
Thanks
on
for
you,
having me.
Timmy.
Tim
Thanks.
Paine on the rush.